Welcome back to the Rich Diet Podcast, the platform where we enrich the culture. And today we have a very special episode, a very special brother of ours that is making waves.
I'm trying.
Making waves all across the Lake Ontario.
That's right, that's right.
Literally making waves. All across the 5 great Canadian lakes. My brother, Dems.
What's up, Bill?
Issey.
What's up, brother?
Issey Carter.
You,
What's up, man?
Pleasure, yeah.
Pleasure.
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
Name of all trades.
Thank you for joining us
Let's
today.
do it,
How you feeling today, brother?
This is cool, man. This is long overdue.
It is,
I was
it
telling
is.
you guys earlier, a lot of my friends have been on the podcast.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
full circle that, we
Yeah.
finally got to do it.
Yeah,
And
for
no
sure.
better time to do it than a summer on a
Yep.
yacht in Toronto.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So I think it's just the perfect moment. And,
Yeah.
let's get to it.
For
Let's have
sure.
some fun.
And thank you for hosting us,
sure.
allowing us to shoot on this yacht,
For sure.
beautiful
For
yacht.
sure.
You know,
Your yacht, right?
Not mine.
Not yours.
Benny works with us. He's been with us for a long time.
Okay.
Mhm.
We have a partnership with him, so he
Right.
was graced to
But
be able to do-
business, a business.
Business
Business
partner.
A business partner,
Cool.
yes, that's
I
correct.
love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
shout out Benny for making this
Yeah,
happen.
shout out Benny for
Yeah.
sure.
Shout out Benny, yep, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, big ups to you, man. I love what you're doing. It's very different than a typical entrepreneur. You're taking things in a different direction, which
Right.
is really cool. It's like a fun thing to do.
Right.
At the same time, it's a lucrative business, I'm sure.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about it. Like, how'd you get into this? What made you even wanted to get into this?
$1 million question.
Yeah,
Ah.
so I mean, this is a good story. I've never told this story on air before, so it's the first time.
Really?
Yeah, I
Nice.
never told it before. So
Oh, okay.
I've never even spoke about the boat business
First time on Rich
on
Diet.
anything on camera.
Yeah.
We did like a Toronto Life article 4 years ago with me and
seen
Dilo,
that. I was gonna
but that
ask
was just
you.
more of like a print thing.
Right.
But crazy story how I got into this business. So I used to work in politics before.
Nice.
So I used to work with the NDP back in the day.
Yeah.
That's where the whole Gorethan connection
yeah,
came in
yeah.
hand.
Right, right.
So I used to do like stakeholder relations, and the way I got into the boat business was so random. So we had this one gentleman, he was like a donor of the party.
Okay.
So he would like donate to the party, and we just built a relationship,
Nice.
We actually met Game 6 of the Raptors game.
Nice.
Nice.
So we met the game, and then I
The
don't know.
playoff, like doing the
This
NBA.
one we beat the Bucks.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
okay,
game
okay,
6.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
nice.
and I was with Jimmy, and he was sitting beside us, and then he just started talking to me, and I know who this guy was. And then the next day, I pull up to this party, Lavelle, and I see this guy just pull up in black trucks, and he walks into the party,
Oh, shit.
and I'm like, who is this guy? So I'm watching him. He's like popping off in the club. He's like, an older gentleman, and then we started talking. We started talking about politics. He's like, hey, I go on boats every weekend just for fun.
Yeah.
This is before the whole boat wave started. It's like
Yeah,
back
yeah,
in
yeah.
2019.
Yeah.
So he's like, I go on boats for fun. He's like, why don't you just come out with me? I'm like, whatever. Like
Yeah,
boating in
whatever.
Toronto, like it's just something you never thought
Yeah.
about. So we go on. It's a crazy vibe, like super, super vibe. Like what you're
Sick.
seeing now was just like 5 years ago.
Wow.
And he was doing this every weekend.
Wow.
So I go on this boat and I'm just like, oh shit, like seems pretty simple. I've seen how much he was paying the guy. I'm like, oh, this seems pretty straightforward. The captain doesn't really just goes barks and just calling it a
Yeah.
vibe. And I was like, he's doing this every Saturday. So that's when the idea started
You got
formulating.
a light bulb.
Right.
You're
Yeah,
like,
a light bulb, but it was nothing crazy because the opportunity was when COVID came.
Right.
Because that's when the
True.
opportunity came. Because that was
Yeah.
just an idea was cool.
Right.
So fast forward a year later, I'm with this guy again. We're going out, and now COVID happens. So everybody's stuck
The
inside.
world shut down.
World shut down. The only thing you can do is outdoor activities, right?
Yeah.
Because there's the whole limits and stuff.
Right.
Yes.
So I'm going on that boat, and people just start hitting me on Instagram. Hey, can I rent a boat? I'm like, yeah, sure. I give them the guy's number. I didn't really care for it.
Yeah.
Then it just started to get so much, and I'm like, okay, let me try to make some money off this now,
Yeah.
just as a broker.
Yeah.
So I made a couple $100, and then I think when everything turned was Jay Dilo. You guys
Yeah.
interviewed him as well.
Dilo. Shout out to Dilo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout out
yeah.
Dilo. So he's like, hey, can I use that boat that I see you on all the time? I'm like, yeah, sure. It's like Jay was my boy. I know him for such a long time. We used to work in like movies back in
Yeah.
the day, like background.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, take the guy's number. So I give him the guy's number, and then Jay randomly sends me like $300 on an e-transfer. And I'm like, yo, why are you sending me money? He's like,
Yeah.
well, I'm making money off this boat, and I just wanted to send you
Yeah.
some money.
Okay.
I'm like,
Shout out for that.
I'm like, that's like weird. Like, you're my boy. So that was one time.
Yeah.
Literally a week later, I get another e-transfer from Jay for like $300.
You're like, whoa.
I'm like, yo, why are you sending me money, bro? He's like, yo, I'm making money off this boat, and I really want to appreciate the connection.
Yeah.
At this point, the light bulb goes off. I'm like, there must be something going on here if there's money flowing around like that.
course.
And I was doing like my small stuff on the side,
Yeah.
and he literally was just starting off. So I go and meet Jim, like, yo, let's join forces. Let's work together.
Yeah, let's do a joint venture.
Yeah, let's do like a joint venture. And he's like, yeah, like let me think about it, because he was a little. His thing was picking up more steam. And I'll never forget, we met at Jack Astor's by City Place.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Mississauga.
No, Toronto.
Fort
Yeah,
York area.
Fort York.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
So
okay.
I meet with Jay, and the phone is blinking. It was like a trap line. Bing, bing, bing.
Hotline going,
like
bling,
people
bling.
want. I had never seen something like this in my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
And every time like we would talk, he's like, I gotta take a call, and it was just blowing up like psycho.
For
Boat rentals.
Holy
This is
rentals.
like
shit.
This is
something.
during mid-pandemic, probably. Right?
2020.
Wow,
It was like
okay.
something I've never seen before, and
Wow.
like we're talking, boom, he just has to stop, and I'm like, oh shit, like this is crazy. So I'm like, yo, Jay, let's figure this out. Let me run the business, and like, yo, like let's do this, you know. And
Right.
he's like, okay, cool. Let me think about it. So a week later, he's like, yeah, let's run it. So we go and we do it, and I'll never forget, man. That first week, like I probably made more money that first week than I did my whole year in a job. Like because I was working a day job
Shit,
at the time.
yeah,
I was just
yeah.
working like a communications job, and it was psychotic. Like it was something I've never seen before that year.
For
Amazing.
you.
And yeah, it was so like, and this is something that just came out of nowhere, you know.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
me to go on this boat in 2019, you know, to partner up with Jay, just all these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, just building relationships.
Right. It just life is just interesting. It's a timing thing. You just never
yeah,
know.
Exactly.
And yeah, 2020 was a massive year. We did really, really well.
Great.
And then yeah, we just grew the business, and
That's awesome.
5 summers later, we're here.
Wow, that's
So,
amazing. That's
yeah,
a-
How many boats do you guys have? Like,
yeah,
how
so
does
we,
it
we
work?
run a fleet of 10 boats.
Wow.
So
Wow.
we're like an Airbnb for boats, more or less.
Yep.
And then with some guys, we have like exclusive deals where we run their boats exclusively.
Yeah,
Where we'll have like partners we specifically work for. But yeah, we've grown our fleet, and
That's
it's been-
awesome.
it's been really good.
Yeah,
so you
that's
start off with that one guy's boat,
Correct.
and then just over time multiply.
Scaled, yeah.
Scaled.
Yeah.
As our
scaled up.
customer base started to get bigger.
awesome. So did he buy more boats? Like, did the business buy more boats?
Yeah.
Like,
So we went into a partnership the year after where we worked with one guy exclusively.
Right.
He bought like 3 large size vessels, and we were working with him.
Nice.
And then we went back to our original model. We're just working with everybody.
right.
So we'll have like this boat and that boat over there, where those are our primary boats where we'll book up. And then
Right.
if we have like overflow, we'll put them on other people's boats.
Okay.
So more or less the Airbnb model, but then we'll have like guys we'll have specific contracts with where we have obligations to fill their boats.
I see.
Oh,
ideally,
I like
you know?
that.
Right,
That's
right.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
awesome.
And you said this is a vessel or this is a yacht? Like I don't understand the boat language. Like,
Yeah,
the terms.
Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, a yacht would be something like you would see.
That big one. up
Yeah,
there.
90 footer.
Okay.
So you would call this a boat, yeah.
You would call this a boat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I hope not to offend this boat, but yeah, I think it's a boat, yeah.
Listen,
Hey,
a
bro.
regular person.
Yeah.
This is a yacht.
Yeah.
This is a yacht to me.
If you
Yeah.
tell someone in Miami, they'll be against a boat, but in Toronto, we can call it.
Yeah,
we'll call it a
To
yacht.
me, this
Yeah.
is a yacht. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
100%. Because
Yeah.
where does it connect? Like, you can't track. Like, a yacht goes like through the seas sometimes, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're just going in Lake on.
Lake-
Can you go across Lake Ontario with this?
I think so.
Like, will it reach? Like,
Yeah,
if you go
I mean,
from one end to the other?
For sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
gone that far, but I know people go to Miami, they go to New York, they drive, so.
But you can cross over to
Detroit?
Like
Niagara
Niagara
Falls.
side.
Yeah, they've
Yeah,
gone there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, for sure.
Wow, that's
That's pretty
amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
What's the protocol? Like, do you have to call in like customs or anything? Like, is
We've
it
never
like
done it before. I don't know.
Oh,
Most of
okay.
our crews are within the harbor. We've
Harbor,
never really done
okay.
like long trips.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not what
yeah.
customers really do, and it's not really our business model.
And it's probably not worth it. It's probably a lot of fuel you gotta
yeah,
burn.
it doesn't really make sense
expenses.
financially
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we charge by the hour, right? So it doesn't. It's not really ideal to do
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So speaking of expenses, what's like? Let's say I want to get into owning my own boat. What's a typical expense look like
Right.
for boats?
Yeah, so the misconception with a lot of people is they'll rent their boats out and they'll just see like what the gross income is, but it's very costly, you know.
I can
The
imagine.
fuel is really expensive on a boat this size.
Yeah.
You know, just to go make a loop on the water, you're gonna spend a couple $100 at the least.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
very, very costly. And then also the maintenance, you know, it's like a house, you know, things
Yeah,
break
yeah.
down, you know, like you see stuff here, like you have charters, things
right.
rip. It's just a very costly business.
Right.
Which people might have the misconception when they get into it. They say they buy a boat.
Yeah.
They hear people, you know, charging $700-800 an hour.
Yeah.
They're thinking like, well, you know, I have a house and Airbnb is different.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of moving parts to a boat. You know, I tell
Yeah.
people like,
Sure.
if you're gonna buy a boat, you better have like the capital, and the
capital.
extra income to
Yeah.
fund this business.
Fund it, yeah.
You know,
Sustain it.
to sustain it. You
Yeah.
know, because there's also marina fees. So
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
you got to pay for the spot for
Yep,
6
yep.
months. Then you got to go put in storage. Then you got to winterize it, and all these things
Oh.
add up, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So to run a boat like this, I mean, I don't want to throw incorrect numbers, but maybe it's 30-40K just startup cost,
Wow.
just before you even start profiting.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, you know?
Interesting.
It's a lot of money you gotta have up front.
Yeah.
So you said storage. That's always a good question. Like, so is there an actual place like you can store the boat in? Like,
Yeah, in the winter time, they'll
Yeah.
go in the parking lot and they wrap them. They shrink wrap
oh,
them.
they just
yeah.
interesting.
So all these boats, they get
Wow.
You see the thing over there?
Yeah.
They get taken
yeah.
out and they all
Yeah.
get put on the on the cement
the thing.
in the parking lot. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's how it
That's
goes.
pretty cool.
Yeah. So you'll see no boats usually here.
And then you gotta have like obviously a boat license and things like that, right? Or to operate this, or you have to hire a captain.
Yes, you have to have a boat license. Yeah, and especially if you want to charter it too, you have to have like the proper credentials. So yeah, all those things come into play.
Because I do have my boy license, but I don't think I can.
Yeah.
drive
No, you
this.
definitely want to have someone experienced who's taking customers so safe and stuff.
Do you have your boat license?
I don't.
No?
Actually, I've never driven a boat.
That's
It's
how
crazy.
are you in the boat business? You don't have.
You don't need to though.
I guess.
I don't. But you know what? Even Jay, he got his boat license. He drives. But for me, it just I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like to take responsibility of liability of driving this thing.
Yeah.
I'd rather
it's a
not be the
whole
one
lot.
to fuck this up and mess it up.
Sure.
So yeah, I'd rather keep it safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you employ your negotiation skills with new clients and your regulars?
Right, good question. So we basically have a price sheet that people choose from. I think one of our greatest strong suits is like our customer service skills. So we've had guys that have been with us for 5 years, and at this point are like family to me. So my whole thing is like the price doesn't even matter,
Yeah.
For me, it's like if these guys come so much, obviously we have our margins, but for me, it's just keeping the database.
True.
Because the thing with us is we have different type of price points. So we have smaller boats that go from like $300 an hour all the way $800 an hour.
Right.
So my thing is maybe that guy that starts at 300, we scale him up to a bigger boat as time passes, maybe the years or in that same season if he has a bigger group. So for us, customer retention and customer service is so key.
True.
And I think it's just being personable,
Personable, yeah.
Like even like when people call, like we have like a phone line, like a lot of companies now they go the app route or like you book online and you don't see the person.
Right.
Ours is sort of like the old school approach, which maybe
True.
affects scaling wise,
Right.
but at least you're getting that human feel. You're
That
gonna book a
human
boat,
feel.
Yeah,
you're gonna
yeah,
call the
yeah,
line,
yeah.
you're gonna speak to a girl.
Yeah.
She's gonna give you the whole breakdown. You're gonna meet her. You're gonna
Not like
see
a
everything.
1-800 number.
Yeah.
No, not at all. You're
Hey,
not
wait
talking,
5 minutes.
yeah,
Customer
yeah.
service,
You're not talking to
call
someone in
center.
Philippines
Yeah.
or India,
Yeah.
or you're not just paying like through an app. Like we want to get to know you, want to get to see you.
Yeah,
We're gonna board
sure.
you on the boat. If you're
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
married,
yeah.
we're gonna do everything. We're gonna make sure it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Add the little
Yeah.
touches.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
cool. So that's probably one of the do a lot of people do that after they get married and stuff? Like
Book the boats.
Like do people
Oh,
book
yeah,
it
yeah.
for weddings and
Oh,
stuff?
for sure,
Like,
for sure. We've done everything.
That's awesome.
We've done
That's
like
a good idea.
not funerals, but like when people pass, you throw the ashes in the
Yeah,
water.
yeah, yeah.
We've
Oh,
done
wow.
Really?
bachelor parties, like anything you can imagine. We've done on this boat.
That's
Wow.
pretty cool.
Anything you
Midget
can.
strippers on here.
Midget strippers?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
We gotta bring that.
That's off the record, but yeah, no.
Do you have a stripper pole in here?
No, we don't. But these boats have experienced a lot of things.
Yeah.
Good things.
Good.
If these,
Good
bo-
memories.
if these boats could talk.
Yeah, you're right. Good memories. If there was a camera somewhere here,
Yeah, yeah.
it'd be a good reality show.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
But yeah.
I noticed though, but you've actually had some celebrities on these boats.
Yep.
And one of them is Steph Curry.
Right.
That was
That's pretty
that
cool.
was impressive.
That was a crazy story.
Yeah, tell us
So the
about
Steph
that.
Curry story is probably a lot of things about life. I think is all about chance, and just me getting into this business was chance. But that was crazy.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget this day. It was last year around this time. We get a random call like 7:00 to our company line. A lady calls, says, "Hey, can we get a boat in an hour?" And she called like the admin who does our line. I said, "Yeah, sure." And she said, "Okay, we want to pay for the boat." I said, "No problem. But they want to pay by credit card."
Okay.
Now I've been burned with chargebacks and credit
Yeah.
card disputes a
Oh,
lot.
Yeah.
So I'm very against taking credit card
Yep,
payments,
yep,
especially
yep.
1 hour before a trip.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you don't know who it is.
Yep.
So I said, you know what, we're not going to take it. Now I didn't know who this person was calling. And then she said, well, we're an American client. That's why we have to pay by credit card. And I said, I don't think I'm interested.
Yeah.
And then she called back and she said, well, if I give you the person's name on the credit card, will you feel more comfortable taking the money?
Yeah.
And I said, okay, cool. So she sends like a photo, and it's Aisha Curry.
Wow.
And I knew right away. Oh, so I made some calls. I knew
Yeah.
Steph was in town.
Yeah.
So I knew something was probably gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now
yeah.
I tell me, I'm like, call the lady back, call her back,
Call
call her
her
back,
back. Yeah,
because
yeah.
it was her assistant.
Yeah.
And then it goes dry.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, fuck. Don't tell me I lost this. So now we're just waiting. We have no staff. We're on standby.
Yeah.
And then 30 minutes later, like a payment comes in from her
Oh
for
shoot.
full price on the credit card.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now I know it's good. So I'm like, I have no staff right now. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you're going to bartend. I'm going to do the ropes. And we're going to figure this trip out. And we're at Cabana. I'll never forget. Steph Curry's just cool. He just comes like holding like a food platter in his hand. Just walks in the boat with her and him.
Just nonchalant.
Nonchalantly.
Like not-
He was literally sitting here this whole time. Like the whole
Wow.
time right
Yeah.
here. Just practicing a golf swing. And I remember vividly, it was the same day as the Game 7 Boston
Golfing
versus,
instead of his shot.
he's a big golfer.
Oh.
Yeah, huge,
Yeah,
I heard
huge
about
golfer,
that,
yeah.
I heard about that.
So
Well, his shot is butter, so you don't need to
Yeah,
practice
it
on
was
that.
Game 7 versus Boston versus Miami last year. I remember that day, and I was
Yeah.
thinking like, why is he watching the game? You know, just like
Yeah.
I thought he was a junkie, whatever. They had a time of their life. They were cool. They were
That's
really, really
awesome.
cool, and he was so nice. And it just, the thing is, sometimes life is
Take
just luck.
chances.
You never
Yeah,
know, right?
yeah,
You know,
That's crazy.
like literally
That's
just call us on a 1-hour win, and they
Yeah.
said, yeah, we found your page online. Our marketing was
Sick.
good. We've had a lot of
that's
celebrities
great.
come on.
Oh, I know.
That means
Yeah.
you guys are doing great. Good
Yeah,
job.
so-
yeah.
But that was it. If you never pick up the call, you just never know.
You just
Yeah.
never know.
And
exactly.
from him coming on the boat, it's helped their business tremendously.
Mm,
Like a lot of people call from out of town saying, "Hey, that was the boat Steph Curry was on."
Yeah, yeah.
I even
yeah.
had someone propose on this boat, and it was the
No
funniest
way.
shit. Like, they're like, "Oh my god!" Like they were going crazy. Steph Curry was here, and I'm like, "He sat here," and they were going. But like people are like, they really got these crazy
weird,
life
yeah,
basketball.
Fetishes of
yeah,
some sort.
they'll be like, "I want
yeah.
to book the boat Steph was on." So
Yeah.
yeah, that was
That
wild,
is
and
so
it was not something
funny.
that was planned. It just happened.
It just
Yeah.
You know?
happened,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should take a photo after in where Steph's
Yeah,
at.
yeah. You know,
Steph Curry was
like
here.
other ones where celebs came like it was planned out.
Yeah.
But that one and Chris Brown was just.
Oh yeah, Chris Brown.
Yeah,
I was
that
gonna
was
say
cool.
that. That one was
Yeah.
fire.
So Chris Brown was another crazy one. So I like Chris Brown's music.
Bro, we all grew up.
You know what I'm
with Chris
saying?
Brown.
Yeah.
of course.
I wasn't much.
But-
I'm still a huge fan. I was a lot, maybe more of a fan when I was younger, but I'm older
Yeah.
now.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I knew he was in town, and I'm like, if I can get him on the boat, like this would be really cool.
Yeah.
So this is something different I did. So I reached out to I know him and his dancers are very, very close.
Okay.
So I reached out to them. I'm like, hey guys, I know you're in town. Let me take you on a boat for free.
Yeah.
Sick.
So I took them out during the day,
Nice.
and they really enjoyed the experience. And I know him and his dancers are very, very tight because an artist that came on
Yeah.
tour,
Yeah.
like
They're always together.
always
yeah.
together practicing and stuff. So
That was a good approach.
it was a good approach.
Yeah.
And this probably works 1 out of a million times. This has to work perfectly.
Yeah.
Like this never works as planned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just happened to be going at chance back on the boat at midnight for one of his opening acts. Her name was Maida.
Right.
A buddy of mine worked at Universal, and he's like, "Can you just take her out and just do me a solid?" I said, "Okay, cool." So the guy now that I went on the boat with earlier in the day, it's like his head choreographer. He was on the boat.
Okay.
Now, mind you, I never spoke about Chris Brown to him because I didn't. I didn't
Yeah.
care. I just wanted to build
Yeah.
a relationship.
Yeah.
He calls me at midnight. He says, "Hey, we just finished the movies. Chris wants to come on the boat. Can we pull up in 10 minutes?" Now, another thing about timing, I was already here.
Oh.
So, things were
perfect
perfectly
timing.
aligned.
Worked out perfectly
Right?
for you, man.
And I'm
That's
just like,
awesome.
yeah, for sure you can come. And I'm like, how long? He's like, he'll be here in 10 minutes.
Wow.
And I'm just like, wow, is he really going to pull up? So I called Jay Dial. I'm like, yo, Jay, you're not going to believe this. Chris Brown's going to be here in 10 minutes. He's like, not a chance. I'm like, I got it. Trust me. And I'm
Yeah.
telling him I was going to get this.
Yeah.
So he comes, and Chris Brown literally pulls up in his huge tour bus
Tour
right there.
bus.
Oh, wow.
So I see, so now his manager comes off the boat, and he's like, I got to go see the boat first, make sure it's, before he comes off. So I'm like, fuck, I hope he comes off this boat,
Yeah,
So I come off this
the
bus.
Tour bus, yeah.
He comes, he's like, all right, cool. And then there's like a 15-minute pause. No one comes off the bus. I'm like, is he debating? Maybe he doesn't want to do this no more.
Yeah. But what was he checking, like to make sure that the,
I guess-
the
well,
boat is safe? Or
Yeah,
something?
I mean, yeah, it was night too, right? It was like
It was
1
nighttime.
o'clock. And this is a
Oh,
massive
so
artist.
isn't he
Yeah, who's the
robbed or something?
captain?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
like he wants to know
yeah.
who was there.
Yeah.
Okay, fair
So
enough.
then his boy, the guy, I knew the dancer. So at least I had that connection with him.
Sure,
So
yeah.
he already is like, oh, this guy's solid. He was able to vouch
Yeah,
for me. So
yeah.
he came off. And then Chris Brown came off. He was hoodied up. And then he came and he was sitting actually there the whole night.
Oh,
Wow.
And he
that's
was so
cool.
chill, man. He loved his weed, so he was smoking weed all night.
Yeah, yeah.
He was
Sick.
dancing. He was like,
He had to dance.
yeah, he was
He's
dancing.
on a boat.
And he
He's
was
a
probably
dancer.
down to stay all night, but we just had to
Yeah.
wrap it up because we were tired.
But so did you take like when you say nighttime, like it's kind of dark out there, right? Like what do?
Oh, the scenery is amazing. The
Oh,
nighttime,
yeah,
you
the
guys are
skyline.
going. Oh, you're
You
going
see the
towards
Hotel
the.
Ron and
oh,
stuff.
Yeah.
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 So you're not going in the middle.
No,
I
no,
keep-
no.
I keep
The-
thinking you're going to the
the-
middle.
the
of
skyline,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he
The
was
harbor, the harbor.
Yeah,
So he
yeah,
enjoyed it, man. He was here for a couple hours.
That's awesome.
He had a great
Sick.
time.
What about Sean Paul? 'Cause
Okay.
that's a big
That's cool,
artist.
too.
So Sean Paul was different. That was actually like a paid thing they did. They shot a music video here.
They shot a
Oh.
music
Yeah,
video.
so that was super dope. So
That
that was a
is
whole different
dope.
experience.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
his
He's a
videographer,
legend.
shout out Kieran, he's been his videographer. So we have a relationship for many years.
Yeah.
And he was the one who's like, hey, I want to shoot a video for him. And that one almost didn't happen as well because they had booked the week before and we got rained out.
Ooh.
So now I'm thinking, damn, I was going to lose him as well.
Yeah, he's
But
gonna leave out of town.
yeah, because
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not just here all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he just happened to reschedule it for 2 weeks later. And that was super, super fun. He was here for like 4 hours.
Oh, it's
That's-
awesome.
I think the song was called Summer's Too Hot.
Yeah.
He shot in the bedroom. He shot everywhere. That was a
Sick.
full-blown music
Yeah.
video. So that was actually a whole different experience.
That's awesome.
That was
Well,
different.
you know what you can say now that Aaron and I
Yeah.
sat in these seats.
Yeah, sat in these
Rich
seats
guy,
here,
baby.
right? Rich
Yeah.
guy,
Rich guy
baby.
has
And
been here.
and it's the first time we ever told these stories, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah,
it's just crazy, man. And I think it all goes back to just timing,
Timing.
Yeah.
A lot of people in life, I think they want things to happen fast,
Yeah.
but things don't happen fast,
It don't. It don't.
You know?
It takes time. Like
Yeah.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Like
so.
for example,
Yeah.
like I've known Bills, in past
Years.
maybe
Yeah.
like since we were like high school.
High school, yeah.
You know,
easily,
but
easily.
timing is what brought us together now
Yeah,
to talk
for
about
sure.
our stories, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's
sure.
what life is. You stay solid, keep good
Yeah, for
relationships,
sure,
and,
man.
relationships, yeah.
and it'll just work out,
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so tell us about that Toronto Life article. Like, how did that come about? You said it was a write-up. Like,
Yeah.
did you guys get interviewed?
Yeah,
or-
yeah. So 2021, Toronto Life did a piece on us, and me and Jay were like, these young entrepreneurs that came into a market
Yeah.
which was never done before.
It was never tapped in,
Yeah.
especially a young entrepreneur.
Especially people of color too.
Yeah.
Me being black, him
Yeah.
being Asian.
Yeah.
Like this is a predominantly white industry, older industry.
Yeah.
So we disrupted the industry.
You guys did.
It was different. A lot of people. I remember at the beginning, you didn't even want to take our bookings.
True.
What
Yeah.
kind of group are you bringing? You get that type of stuff when
You
you're
get that
dealing with these
stereotypical-
the stereotypical. Is it
Yeah.
a rap group? Is it a
Yeah.
party group?
Yeah.
We still get that to this day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just different.
It's awesome.
But that's how it came apart. They wanted to do a story on us. It was really good.
Yeah.
That also
Yeah.
helped us a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, any good press you can get that's positive,
Yeah.
it is always goes in a
Good-
good
yeah.
direction.
Any good press, yeah.
So
Yeah.
going back a little bit to when you're talking about like the chargebacks and stuff on the credit cards, do you guys like how often do you experience that? Like, is there any like crazy stories that
Good question.
have happened?
So now I don't take credit card payments. I'll just take e-transfers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll only take credit cards if it's like, a really reputable corporate
Yeah.
company where I
Yeah.
know like they're not going to finesse me.
Yeah.
I think at the beginning, like we would say, okay, you give me your credit card and then I want the ID, the front and the back to double check it. But you can get burned like that. You know what I'm
still
saying?
burn.
It's still burned, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Actually, I did have one crazy story. Interesting.
Yeah.
But it's actually a funny one. So I had this guy. He booked. He said he was from London, and the transaction I think was about like $300. So he booked the boat, and the payment went through. Everything was good, but luckily his trip was 1 week out, so it wasn't like on the day of.
Okay.
So literally 2 days later, I got a call from the bank saying, "Hey, this is a fraud alert. We're not going to grant you this money because usually it'll take time. Usually the trip will already go out, then you'll
Yeah.
get burned like 2 months later.
Yeah.
So I called the guy and I said, "Hey, there's a fraud." He's like, "No, I'm from the UK. They've been doing this to me, man, all the
Do you
time."
speak in a UK accent too to sell the voice or no?
He's a black guy,
Oh,
but he just
okay,
had like
okay.
a
A UK
yeah,
accent.
and he's
Okay.
like, "Yeah, bro."
roadman
Like,
accent.
he's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, they're screwing me over. It's because I just moved to Canada." He's trying to sell me a story.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Okay, brother. Well, there's a chargeback. I didn't get the money, so just pay me in cash,
Right.
and we should be good." And he's like, "Nah, bro, I'm not doing that. I didn't do anything, bro. You know what I'm saying? They took my money." I'm like, "Yo, just pay me in cash. We'll
Yeah.
be good." So he never paid me in cash, whatever. So now take this in. A year later, this guy comes and books our boat.
Same guy.
Same guy.
But with a
Holy
different name?
shit.
No, same name.
Oh, same
But
name,
this
okay.
time he booked in cash.
Oh,
He went in
okay.
our boat with everything. So now he comes to the office to pick because we collect the damage deposit to collect his
Oh,
damage
okay.
deposit. And me and my admin were there, and his name just ringed in our head because you're obviously gonna remember a story like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm like, "Yo,
Aren't you that?
aren't you the guy that tried to fraud me last year?" He's like, no, it wasn't me. I'm like, "Yo, you're so and so." He's like, nah, bro. I'm like, "Yo, that's so crazy." He's like, literally just ran out the office.
He
Shit.
just ran
He
out.
just left,
Wow.
Damn.
What
But
a prick.
because he actually booked too,
Yeah.
and he actually paid proper this time.
Yeah.
But I couldn't believe it, right?
He probably used
So-
the fraud that he made, the money that he made from fraud,
Or
to
whatever,
pay you
or
guys.
whatever
to
fraud
pay
he
you
was
guys
making.
down.
Fraud
Yeah.
is something, you know.
Something.
Wow.
But yeah, that was probably a crazy chargeback
Crazy.
story.
That's
a full
crazy.
circle. But yeah, I haven't
Crazy.
knock on wood. It doesn't happen again. But
Yeah,
I'm very
well, you won't
militant.
because you're cautious now.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have
for sure.
preventative
Because
measures,
that's a
yeah.
killer, right? You lose a couple of $1,000. Like
Yeah,
to be out of
that's
pocket,
annoying,
that's
bro.
an L. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Do you usually take damage deposit up front?
Yeah, we do. So before they go on the boat, we'll take like a $500 damage deposit.
500, okay.
So what happens is people will come, they'll get wild, they'll clog toilets,
Yeah.
they'll go crazy. So you really got to be careful.
Yeah. Is
for all
there
that
a
stuff.
cleaning fee as well? I assume no
No,
cleaning fee.
no.
Oh,
So a
interesting.
boat like this, you come on, it comes with a server, a captain, and a
Server,
first mate.
captain.
You bring your drinks and food, they'll serve you. Go
Cool.
cruise in the harbor. As long as you do anything wild, this should be a
Yeah.
great trip.
Yeah.
Usually what happens is people like try to go crazy, jump on tables, jump on walls. That's when you'll lose a damage deposit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
more so than not, you'll be good.
That's pretty cool.
So a little backtrack to like your days when you were working for the city, that like Toronto. You were in. You said you you're into like politics.
Yes.
Okay, so how did that relationship come about with you and Gurton and
Right.
meeting John Tory and all these guys?
No, never worked with John Tory.
Oh, you
It's
never-
just mostly been with Gurton and Jagmeet.
Okay, Jagmeet.
Yeah,
Jagmeet,
yeah.
Okay,
So a little bit. I went to school for like journalism.
nice.
So like anyone you graduate from school, like, you're trying to figure out what you want to do.
Absolutely.
And I used
yeah.
to do interviews actually back in the day.
I know.
Yeah.
You interviewed Post Malone back in the
Yeah,
day.
so I used to-
Yeah,
so
guy
I-
interviewed
yeah.
Post
So
So
Malone.
I actually used to interview celebrities like before like social media was
Was a
Yeah.
thing.
I was
yeah.
like a YouTube guy.
Yeah.
You know, there was no TikTok.
Yeah.
And basically what I used to do it for was, you know, Chris Brown actually had a blog in Toronto. It was called Mechanical Dummy.
Mechanical Dummy.
Yeah, so it was actually a full circle moment with going back to the Chris Brown thing when he came on the boat.
Wow.
So
Did you show him that?
I didn't even talk about it.
Oh man, that
No.
would
Yeah,
have
I
been
didn't
crazy.
even think about it. But he used to have a blog, and I used to do content for his blog, and then I just do YouTube shit. And I was a hustler, man. Like I would interview.
I know
like,
you always been a hustler.
yeah, I
bro.
interviewed like a lot of artists, man, like Meek Mill, Post Malone,
Yeah.
Jeezy, like all these guys when they were in their prime. So
Yeah.
I did all that stuff, and then I'm like, that was my goal. I wanted to be like a much music DJ.
True.
And then as time passed and like technology changed, you know, those
Technology.
jobs are just not as, I guess, admirable or in demand as they once were.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the whole like entrepreneur thing, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you can go
Yeah.
have a podcast on YouTube and make just as much money as a guy in CP24 or Bell or whatever it is.
working
Yeah.
for those
You know, you can make
corporate-
money on AdSense.
Yeah,
You can make
yeah.
money on brands. Like you don't need to go work for a news station.
Yeah.
So as technology changed, I'm like, yeah, I didn't really have interest in doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just like, you know, let me figure it out. I didn't really know what I wanted. So my mom works at the hospital. So all my family's in medicine. So my brother's in med school, my sister's in med
Nice.
school. So I was the only guy that went like in
Essential workers.
yeah, essential workers. Yeah. So my mom got me a job in the hospital. I was working with like World War II veterans that had dementia.
Oh wow.
Very rewarding and fulfilling
Yeah, that's
job.
pretty cool.
It is,
It was
yeah.
really fun, you know, and I would
Yeah.
help them, and you know, I got to learn from these people and their stories, and you
Yeah,
know,
it'd
really
be
good
crazy.
perspective. You know,
Yeah.
they were such accomplished people that had lost, you know,
Yeah.
their cognitive ability as they got older, and they became shell of themselves. And I was just like, damn, man, like it was just sad to see.
Yeah.
But I would like do activities with them,
Yeah.
and then I left that and I went to go work in communications.
Mm-hmm.
And I had an uncle of mine who was like a longtime NDPer.
Right.
NDP.
NDP, yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, there's this guy named Jagmeet who's running for NDP leader.
NDP leader,
He's
yeah.
a new type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe you should go help him out. And this is another thing of just timing, luck. I didn't
Yeah.
care about
Yeah,
politics.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, let me try, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I never met Jagmeet at this point.
Yeah.
I would just go once a week and just do phone calling, like phone banks for no.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I don't even know why I was doing this. I didn't even know what I was believing in.
Just volunteering.
Just volunteer.
volunteer,
Like
yeah.
randomly, I would go to this random house in Spadina and
Yeah.
King and like
Like Queen of Spadina, like
yeah,
before
Queen
your
of Spadina.
house.
It was like
yeah,
this lady that was doing volunteer bank.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever. So I go there, and in October of 2017, he miraculously wins. It was such an upset. Everyone was stunned, you know.
Yeah, I remember
He
that.
became the leader of the NDP. And then I said, okay, I think I could be of value to him because I know it was, at the time he was trying to brand himself with like, you know, this
Right.
younger, cool audience.
Cooler minorities,
Minorities, you know, and I had access to like the whole entertainment world.
Mm.
So I would just start bringing him along, you know, like I would take him to events.
Yeah,
Like, we
seeing the
went to go-
Raptors game.
Yeah,
and
we
shit.
went to go chill with Post Malone one time.
Yeah, yeah.
He was also
Sick.
big in the Silco culture, so Marsha Montana brought him
Yeah.
on stage, and we did
Sick.
some cool stuff. So through that, we just built a relationship,
Yeah.
and I would just like do like some work for them, like advisory stuff, some stakeholder stuff,
Nice.
and then that's how we just Gareth and them just became family,
I love
and,
that.
and that's how we got tight with them,
Yeah.
and yeah, Gareth helped me a lot, man. There were even
Yeah.
times when
Solid guy. Yo,
solid guy, yeah, he helped me a
Yeah,
lot.
we
I
had
think
a great podcast.
yeah, you know, he's into like the whole like spiritual stuff,
Yeah.
you know, and he's a great guy, and he helped me a lot. So yeah, I have a lot of loyalty and respect to those guys
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
great guys.
Man, so you went from journalism, communications, politics to
To boats.
the boats, the
Boats.
yachts.
The
Yeah,
yacht-
and
yacht
the boats
broker.
thing wasn't even expected. Like you know,
Yeah, it wasn't
expected.
even in the books.
No,
yeah.
I would have never thought this. You told me like 5 years ago.
Crazy.
I would have been like, yeah, right. You know,
Crazy.
probably just. I didn't even know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
You know?
are you branching out into other things? Like are you an entrepreneur?
Yeah, good question.
Like,
Yeah,
What investments are you in?
yeah.
You know?
So I have another business I'm actually launching.
Okay.
You know, believe it or not. So we actually have a
Love that.
breath spray. It's called Happy Breath.
Happy
Cool.
breath.
Yeah, so it's really,
yeah, I
really.
seen you messing with it earlier.
Yeah,
I
I
Yeah,
thought,
what is
thought
this?
it was lipstick.
I thought it was
no,
a vape.
no, yeah. So I don't know if you guys know about this whole thing on TikTok Shop. It's like really, really big on
Yeah, it's
America.
TikTok
Okay.
shot. Yeah.
So I'm literally just about to launch this product.
That's
and
cool.
yeah, it's called
See?
Happy Breath. So like it's
Happy breath.
yeah.
Riz with confidence.
Yeah.
I fucking
So it's
love it.
it's just different, you know, like it's just a way of
So
different.
it's like
applica-
just
mint.
like a one spray.
yeah. And basically like our whole approach with this spray is you know, you got these people that sell Listerine or Colgate, and they're trying to go
Yeah.
with the whole effect of, you know, this is a health benefit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we're trying to do it differently. We're gonna go the whole like Gen Z marketing. This is gonna help you get girls.
Right.
Have you guys heard of Tabs? That chocolate?
Yes, yes, yes,
It's like
yes.
it's like break, bite, bang or whatever.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
okay.
So our thing is smell, spray, smash. And basically you use this, you can raise a girl.
Raise a girl.
So we're gonna like sell this to Gen Z.
Yeah.
And the marketing for it's like really wild. We're gonna be launching the States.
I
That's
love
my
it. I love
partner.
the way
Awesome.
like
Yeah, the presentation.
presentation.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this.
Happy place.
How did you go about getting like all this produced? Like, did you
Happy
outsource it to
Outsource China, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
so we're working with manufacturers out there.
How did you go about doing that? That's probably $1 million question for everybody that wants to know. Because like, when you think of products, you know, you're gonna try to launch a product. They don't know where to start at first, right?
Right.
So where did you go? Like,
Right.
what did you do? What research?
Yeah. So a lot of trial and error. So first, the way we started was TikTok Shop has this thing called affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what we started doing was right now is you can like promote other people's products and you get paid a commission.
Yeah.
But then I said to myself, what's the longevity in this?
Kind of like
Yeah.
drop shipping, right? Is
Yeah,
it?
but you don't own that product,
Yeah,
right?
you don't
So the
own
thing
it.
is like
Yeah.
you make a couple bucks pushing this
Yeah,
product,
yeah.
but that's just like a get money quick scheme.
Yeah.
And at this point in my life, like I'm not interested in that. I want to build like brands and I want to build
Yeah,
businesses.
yeah.
So I saw that and I said, well, you know, I have a lot of connection in the influencer space through businesses I have. So I'm like, why don't I just get my own product?
Right.
And then, you know, I can pay guys to market and we can scale it accordingly.
Right.
So it's pretty
Smart.
simple. We linked up with the manufacturer in Alibaba. We've been going back and forth for 5 months, getting the ingredients right.
Yeah.
First, we had the first edition of this mint spray, and it wasn't strong, so we made it stronger.
Right.
Then we fixed the way we wanted the box to look. So the original,
Packaging.
the packaging, this was white. Then we made it black. So a lot of trial and error until we finally got across the right thing we wanted. But yeah, I'm really confident this is going to do well. I'm really excited for launch.
Yeah.
Hopefully within the next couple of months, within a month or two.
Yeah, it's really
And,
cool.
it's
yeah.
cool.
I think we'll come back talking about this product then.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I really think this will be the next big thing. I'm really
Sure.
confident.
I think it would be amazing just to like have. First, it stands out, right?
It does, and it's just easy application. You know, it's like a mint. And
fact.
try it out, Brent. Bills. You know, tell me if you like it. Be honest.
minty,
Minty, right? Yeah,
fresh. It's almost like
why not?
it's almost like
it's smooth, right?
it's almost like
And it
those
works.
little Listerine like
Yeah. Yes.
flakes things that
Yes.
you put on your mouth.
Yeah.
And it really works. You know, I've seen guys use this and actually finish the deal. You know,
So now,
Yeah.
so if I leave right now and I go see
for
a girl
sure.
and
We
I
can bring one right now. We can try it
I
out.
can raise a girl easily.
Yeah, for sure. You know,
Jeez.
so maybe the next one we'll do like a happy breath stripper. I don't know, but yeah, that's like one thing I'm working on.
Yeah,
I'm
I
really
love
excited
that,
for.
man.
And yeah, I'm always just trying new things. You know,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah.
gotta. I feel like you gotta nowadays. You
have
can't
to,
be
of
a
course.
one-trick pony. You know.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Or
gotta
else-
always be, tapping into different ventures. A jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. Me and my partner Eugene in Miami, we're launching this. We're really looking forward to it. He's an awesome creator,
Nice.
huge following online. So yeah, it's gonna be dope. I'm really excited.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Have you guys ever got in situations with the marina cops, like the cops on the water?
No, not really. They're actually
Yeah?
very nice compared to the cops on land.
On the land, really?
Yeah, they're
eh?
cool. You know, they're just trying to make sure we're not drunk and
Yeah,
driving.
yeah.
You know, they're not here to like really piss you off. You know, being on the water is like a cool thing. It's a
It
fun.
is.
It's a
It's
fun
like a summer
experience.
activity.
It's a summer activity. It's short,
Yeah.
so they don't really like to bust your balls.
But do they ever come around and be like, "Hey, we gotta do counts on how
No,
many people are here"?
no, they never do. Just like they want to check life jackets,
Life
Yeah,
jacket.
safety
yeah.
stuff, which is more than
Safety,
happy. But yeah, I never had no issues. The only issues I had with them was during COVID,
Mm.
when the whole like outdoor limit stuff.
Limit
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
So they're really
yeah.
like on it about like how much people you had on your boat, and then they'll give you tickets if you pass the outdoor limits.
True,
But
true.
beside that, yeah,
pretty easy
they've
going,
been
yeah.
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen any major boat crashes?
No, definitely not.
None?
No,
Yeah.
we don't want to see those.
I think there's
Well,
a,
no,
there's a
no, I
speed
know
limit on the
nobody
harbor.
does, but like,
yeah,
I'm just saying, like accidents do happen, right? Like,
yeah,
is there any-
no, I've never seen anything like
Okay,
that.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
There's a
So you're
speed
safer
limit.
on water than you are on land.
I would think so.
Yeah?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would hope so.
You know, because I
shit.
feel like if something happens, on the water, I think it'll be
Yeah.
a lot more dangerous than land.
Yeah.
It would,
You know?
yeah. Everyone
If
would
your
have to
boat
put
sinks.
on.
Yeah.
Have you seen any
Life
Anyone's
jackets,
boat sink? Have you heard any of those?
I mean, not in
Nothing crazy?
lifetime. I've seen videos, obviously,
Okay.
Yeah.
but I hope never to see that, man.
Yeah,
it's,
yeah,
it's
no,
not,
for
not
sure,
a
yeah.
tragic experience.
So, is there any plans to expand to like different marinas, like in the States,
Yeah.
like Miami?
So we actually
like-
did that. We were in Montreal and Miami the past couple years,
Oh,
which was
nice.
cool. But the markets have shifted a little bit, so now we're just bringing our focus back to
back
Toronto.
to Toronto.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a lot more growth opportunity there,
Mm-hmm.
and the market's changed. You know, like a lot of these rental business were so big during the pandemic
Yeah.
because but now people
The
have
demand.
yeah people have options now.
Yeah.
Before you could charge like 4K to be on a boat on a weekend. But now if you have 4K, you're gonna go to Italy.
Yeah.
You're gonna spend that money elsewhere. You're not gonna spend it on a boat for 4 hours. You're gonna try to get a bang for your buck.
Yeah.
I mean, I want people to spend that money. I'm not
Yeah,
saying don't
yeah,
do
yeah.
it,
Yeah.
but it's just life, you know.
Yeah.
There's
Part,
options.
part of the game.
Part of
bro.
the game.
You just gotta always adjust to the times. you
Yeah,
know, like-
exactly. And that's the key thing in business, you know. You can't get left behind, you know.
Yeah.
You
Or
can't
always
pout and be
pivot.
like, yo, this is not working. I'm pissed off and get all, you know.
Yeah.
You just literally gotta pivot and move and network and
Pivot.
you know find things that are working and
Yep.
you know link up with the right people
Yep.
Yeah.
and make the right connections.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you know, just stay tuned. You gotta learn. You gotta educate yourself. It's,
Yeah,
it's really,
yeah,
really
yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man. Good
Yeah.
for
Love
you.
that. Yeah, no, that's amazing, man.
Appreciate
you,
it, man.
You have a lot of game, a lot of knowledge,
Yeah.
and it almost seems like in any business you discover or you tap into, you just like you master it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's journalism,
You
if
have
it's
to.
broker,
Yeah.
No,
like,
for sure.
I love that, bro. I love that attribute about you, bro.
For sure. And vice
Um,
versa, Bill.
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I'm really
yeah.
happy with the real estate stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we've all been grinding for so long.
Grinding,
Yeah.
bro.
So, you know,
grinding.
now we're just hitting our prime, you know?
we just,
You know?
and it's just the beginning. It's
Yeah.
just the beginning, right?
Yeah,
so
we're about to, you know, really take it up the next level. So
definitely
Yeah.
taking it up
I'm
the
excited to
next
see what
notch.
we all
Absolutely,
you know,
yeah,
can do.
yeah.
For
For sure.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you, bro. Thank you
Yeah.
for like I said, thank you for allowing us
Yes,
to come shoot the
for sure.
podcast.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Hopefully, you know, we can come back
Let's do
around
it.
and share some more
Yeah.
cool stories.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
the Steph Curry.
We sat here.
We
so-
sat here,
Yes.
you know.
Always more than welcome. You
You
know?
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And if you're looking for a yacht, make sure you hit them up. you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
GTA
yeah.
Yachts.
So for the people that don't
Yeah,
know where
let
to
them-
find
let them
you,
know,
Yes.
let them know.
So GTA Yachts on Instagram, GTAYACHTS.com on online.
online.
And yeah, you know, we've been doing this for 5 years, and I always say this in every interview we do.
Yeah.
You know, without the people, this business doesn't exist. This is the hospitality industry.
The service.
Service. You need people to book to have a business.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this business is all predicated based on people wanting to come and spend time with us and spend their hard-earned money with us.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
for that, like, I'm so thankful, because without them,
Yeah.
we're not here today.
Yeah.
We're not talking about this business. You know, every single person that booked contributed to us building this thing,
yeah.
and even giving me an opportunity to be a businessman. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm so thankful for that. And
That's awesome.
GTAYACHTS is not
Amazing.
about us; it's about the people and
about the
and
people,
the
yeah.
customers
Right,
that have been so
right,
loyal
right.
to us. So thank you, and
Absolutely.
I hope you guys keep coming back. You know.
Yeah, make
For
sure you
sure.
guys tap in for
Yes.
all your
Yeah.
boat
For sure.
inquiries.
Yes.
You know, if it's a wedding, it's
Yeah.
birthday, it's,
Yeah.
it's Canada Day. you
Any
know?
celebration.
Any
you want to just go out on the water.
Yeah.
Shit. Just,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Tap
sure.
in,
Let's
do
GTA
it.
Yachts.
Thank you.
You
Yeah.
know, tap in. Make sure you subscribe, comment, like, share,
Yep.
show some love.
Yes.
I'm your host, Aaron Bills.
Rich Diet, baby.
Rich Diet.
Rich Diet.
You already know I'm Zico.
Yes.
Zico.
And thanks for coming
And Izzy,
out, man.
thank you, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate
so
you guys,
much.
man.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate
My
you.
brother.
you.
Till next
Cool.
time, peace and love.
Yes.
Peace.
We're ready to go hit the water.
Ah.